How many years should a truly fine champagne mature? Imagine that the world's most expensive drink begins right here. Hand-harvested grapes in the misty vineyards of Champagne. Only the most perfect bunches make it into the baskets. Those same delicate bunches now go into the traditional press. Here, in a historic Champagne winery, the real magic begins. The first, most noble juices flow slowly. The freshly pressed must enters the stainless steel tanks. Here, in the cool cellars of Champagne, we add the yeast and the first fermentation begins, the birth of the future champagne. Now the Champagne master blends different base wines. This is the most closely guarded secret of every house. The perfect assemblage that will determine the character of the future champagne. Into each bottle we add a precisely measured amount of tirage liqueur with yeast and sugar. Now the bottles are tightly sealed. The second fermentation begins, creating the famous champagne bubbles. Now the real magic begins. In these cool chalk cellars, the bottles spend months on their lees. This is when those famous delicate champagne bubbles are born. For many months, sometimes even years, the bottles age on the yeast sediment. It is here, in the silence of the chalk cellars, that the champagne gains its exceptional depth, creaminess, and unique character. Every day the bottles are gently rotated and tilted. This is the art of riddling, a gesture repeated thousands of times, slowly moving the yeast sediment exactly into the neck of the bottle. The moment of dégorgement has arrived. The bottle neck is instantly frozen, and the yeast sediment in the form of ice is ejected under pressure. The champagne becomes crystal clear. Now we add the expedition liqueur, a secret blend of sugar and old champagne. This is what decides whether the champagne will be brut, extra brut, or sec. The final step before corking. The cork is inserted under enormous pressure, and the muselet secures everything in place. Finally, the elegant labels. The bottle is now ready to reach your hands as true champagne. And that's how the circle comes full circle. From a single grape to this very bottle. How many years should a truly fine champagne mature?
Deep in the heart of the tropical rainforest grows the fruit that changed the world. Every single pod is harvested by hand, one confident swing of a machete. Inside lies the treasure, white beans wrapped in sweet living pulp, 5 days under banana leaves, and this is exactly where chocolate flavor is born. The tropical sun does the rest. Every bean turned by hand, every bean dried to perfection. Intense heat unlocks what was hidden. The deep, powerful aroma of real chocolate. Steel rollers crush the beans without mercy. From a solid matter flows a dark, dense mass. For many hours the machine churns and folds, every movement refining the flavor to absolute perfection. Golden cacao butter merges with the mass. This is the exact moment that creates the silky texture. On cold marble, the chocolate transforms its structure, crystallizing into its perfect form. A precision nozzle fills every single mold. Dark chocolate takes its final shape. One single tap, and the perfect bar leaves its mold forever. From bean to bar, weeks of work, one perfect moment. Do you know how chocolate is actually made?
The world's most exclusive fountain pens begin with pure gold. In a Swiss workshop, 18-karat gold is carefully melted. The molten gold is poured into molds. This creates the raw ingot of 18-karat gold. The raw ingot goes to the lathe. With extreme precision, the barrel and cap are formed. Now the parts are hand-polished and refined. The gold must achieve a perfect mirror-like shine. The heart of the pen is created, the nib. From 18-karat gold and steel, the precise writing tip is formed. 18-karat gold is tipped onto the nib. This small piece of precious metal determines how smoothly the pen writes. The master hand engraves the nib. Every detail and decoration is carved with the highest precision. Now comes the internal assembly. The nib, feed, and converter are precisely joined with the barrel. The moment of truth arrives. The master tests the smoothness and quality of every line. And this is how, after many months of meticulous work, one of the most exclusive fountain pens in the world is born. The world's most beautiful Persian carpets begin with the finest silk. In Isfahan, masters carefully select only the most perfect threads. The selected silk is dyed using natural dyes. Masters use roots, flowers, and leaves to create deep, lasting colors. The silk warp is carefully stretched onto the large looms. The even tension of these threads determines the final quality of the entire carpet. The masters begin tying the Persian knots by hand. Each knot is tied individually. This work can take many months. The master works according to the traditional cartoon, a hand-painted design. Every knot is tied exactly according to this pattern. After knotting comes the hand trimming and leveling of the pile. The master precisely cuts every millimeter of silk. After trimming, the carpet is thoroughly washed with natural soap. This is the first finishing stage that cleans the silk and reveals the true colors. The wet carpet is hung to dry in the open air. The water slowly drains away, and the silk gains its final depth of color. In the final step, the master carefully inspects the entire carpet. Every imperfection is corrected by hand. This is the last stage before the work is considered complete. And this is how, after many months of handwork, one of the most magnificent Persian carpets is born.
Finest Chinese vases begin with the highest quality porcelain clay. In Jingdezhen, master craftsmen carefully select and prepare kaolin and patinsi. On the wheel, the master shapes the vase by hand, every millimeter perfectly even and symmetrical. The vase dries slowly as the master refines its form and smooths the surface. Once dry, the master hand sands every millimeter until the surface is perfectly smooth. Into the kiln for the bisque firing, hardening the porcelain before glazing. The master dips the vase in glaze, coating it evenly for a glassy finish. With a delicate brush, he hand paints cobalt blue, a classic Chinese floral motif. The second firing melts the glaze, fusing the pattern to the porcelain forever. Finally, the master inspects every detail. Glaze, pattern, and shape must be flawless. And that's how, after months of work, the finest Chinese vase from Jingdezhen is born.
We begin with a careful selection of the freshest flowers. Only the best roses, lavender, and jasmine are chosen. The flowers are carefully packed into distillation baskets, ready for the still. The baskets filled with flowers are lowered into the large steel distillation still. We start the steam distillation. Hot steam is injected into the still. Hot steam passes through the flowers, extracting aromatic essential oils. The vapors travel to the cooled pipes, where they begin to condense. The condensed mixture flows down into the separator. The golden essential oil separates from the floral water. The pure essential oil is collected for further processing. The oils are taken to the laboratory, where the master perfumer begins to create the fragrance composition. With great precision, we blend the top, heart, and base notes. The finished fragrance is filtered, diluted, and bottled into elegant flacons.